Okay, so to run a workflow in Galaxy, so you want to select the workflow that you want to run. So in this case, I'm going to run this one. So you click on it. And you have here all the steps that the workflow's going through. So here you pick your input dataset collection. So I have only one, so it's going to be fairly easy. Then you can here for each of the tools in that workflow, you can select what options you want out of them. So in that case, I do want to compensate, so I'm going to click on here and click here. I don't want to automatically get the debris in those files, and I don't want an FCS file as an output, so I'm going to leave that as is. Then you can manipulate the columns in the text output from that tool. So in that case, I'm not going to change the column order, but I don't want to keep all of them. So this is data that I know I have 7 columns in there. I just want to keep 6. So I'm going to put all of those, and I also want to rename them. So in that case, again, it's because I know my data already. So I know what I have in each column. CD4, CCR3, CD8, CCR7. Okay. Then downsample and merge. I don't want to change anything, but if you wanted to downsample your file, you could change that parameter right here, and you could also decide that you don't want to keep all the columns, so you can change that here. And I do want to run Flock. For Flock, you can pick whether you want to run version 1 or version 2. In that case, I want to run version 1. You can select how many bins and the density that you want to run. I'm just going to use the default settings. And you can choose how you want to calculate the centroids. You have a choice between mean fluorescence intensity, median fluorescence intensity, and the geometric mean fluorescence intensity. Again, I'm going to go with the default setting here. Generate overview information. I don't want to do this right now. I will do it some other time. And I am running cross sample also with the mean fluorescence intensity, and I want to see the overview information for cross sample, and I don't have to select anything. When this workflow runs, at the end I will be emailed that the job is complete. So once I've made sure that everything was fine, I can just click on run workflow, and it's going to work for me. So I'm going to refresh the panel. This is actually a fairly quick workflow to run, especially the files that I'm using are only 20,000 events each, and there's 3 of them, so it's going to go pretty quickly. So when the files here are yellow, it means that the job is running. When they're gray, it means that they're queued. So you can see how this is progressing. Oh, and you will see files appear and disappear, because when you're working with dataset collections, when it runs the job, it shows all the files, and then when the job is completed, it puts the files back into the dataset collection. So each of those here is actually a dataset collection that shows everything. And that's it. My workflow is completed, and I can now look at the files that have been generated.